From the episode of Charm City Heavyweights podcast brought to you by Grade 8 Sports and Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is my co-host, Josh Merrill. What's going on, man?
What's up, Matt? Coming live from the man cave, and I got a bone to pick with you. Backstage, you son of a bitch. I started talking, and you fucking kicked me out. I was trying to ask you, now that we're live on national TV,
National
are we
TV, okay.
talking about Orioles or fucking Ravens first? I need to pull my shit up. I'm trying to be professional, you dickhead.
Well,
I'm like, hey, what are we doing first, Ravens or Orioles? Click. I was like,
well,
motherfucker.
To be courteous to you, we'll go with the Orioles first. They
all right, let me get my shit together here.
You know, if you would have actually been on time and been in the studio at 9:15, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Well,
but
I'm a diva.
You are a diva. You said let's do this at 9, and then I say I'm gonna give you a couple minutes, 9:15, and then
you gave me a minute. I took a mile,
and then you took another 15 minutes to get ready. So kiss my ass with the process and the ordering of the show. There's that. I know it takes a lot for you Patterson graduates to read, but come the fuck on.
I'm gonna let that one slide, Matt.
You can let whatever you want slide. I really don't give a shit.
Oh, you will. Hey, man, do your thing here. Start talking about the Orioles. I'm trying to get my shit together here since you couldn't be professional.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, the Orioles just finished up their 6-game road series today with a come-from-behind victory against the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been taxing us the 2 previous games. Dean Kramer got rocked yesterday, and Kyle Bradish had a rough start, but then he looked like a monster on the mound in the last 5 innings that he threw. Gunnar Henderson go-ahead 2-run home run to the opposite field. Batista with the save again.
When Batista's on, bro, he's just unhittable, man. When his splitter is work, that's the key to his success. If his splitter, that's how you can tell if it's going to be an easy 1, 2, 3 strikeouts. If his splitter is on, he's not hittable. Because whenever his splitter is on, his fastball is on. And when he hits you with that splitter at 90 miles an hour and then throws 102 at your eyes, then it looks like it's coming down the middle. And he's so fucking intimidating. Dude looks like a monster statue on the mound.
What is he, 6'9", 6'8", something like that?
Yeah, so, and then he's on a fucking hill, coming down a hill at you. Anybody that says baseball players are soft, you need to go eat a dirty asshole because, first of all, it's a shitload of games. Second of all, you're in the heat, and motherfuckers are throwing a ball at you, and all you got is a stick to protect yourself. You do the math.
It's Baltimore City math for you, but I digress.
And this ball is coming 90-plus miles an hour, you know.
Speaking of filthy of filthy pitching and breaking balls and just overall velocity, I was watching highlights. I was watching highlights of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Dustin Mays.
We're going to talk about Cano.
We'll talk about Cano, but this ties into the Orioles a little bit. Dustin Mays threw a 102-mile-an-hour sinker a couple of days ago, and it had 17 inches of vertical break. And he was supposed to be the focal point in the Manny Machado trade, and the previous Orioles regime didn't like his medicals, and here we are 5 years later, and the dude is an absolute fucking stud. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because that was something I wanted to talk about on the show. But it was just incredible, 102 miles an hour, and it had 17 inches of break, and it broke inside on a right-handed batter, which was absolutely insane
Beautiful.
to me.
That's beautiful.
It was a beautiful pitch. But yeah, getting back to Cano. Cano's been still been rock solid, man. He finally, is coming back down to earth a little bit, but he looks good. I'm confident in the bullpen right now. The bullpen's looking good. Bruce Zimmerman's looking good now that he's up. Huh?
Cano has not been the same. What the fuck?
He's still better than most relievers. That's what I'm saying. He came back down to earth, obviously.
That motherfucker can't throw a strike right now if his life depended on it.
I still like him. I still think that he's going to work through his issues. I mean, everybody on the staff, starting and relieving, has had issues. He's just going through his right now.
I don't expect Cano that the success he was having to start the year is not like I knew that wasn't sustainable. I knew he couldn't do that forever. I mean, come on, he'd be like the greatest pitcher ever if he kept pitching
absolutely.
like that.
Oh, I mean that's impossible to
But
keep up.
he
That
is not like the other night though. Game 2 of the Milwaukee series. I think it's the one we lost 10-2 or whatever the fuck it was. But when he was in there, man, the other night, you could see him like changing release points, like he's trying to. He's just having trouble finding the strike zone right now.
I mean, he had trouble in his last outing. I'm not. There's no discrepancy there. I still think that he's in the top half of the league in terms of relievers. He's gonna get. I think he's gonna get it right. I think he's been overused to a degree. He's been trotted
Oh,
out there.
bullshit.
Huh?
Oh, bullshit. He pitched the 1 inning. Shit.
I mean, but it's one inning almost every single night, and I understand that
Okay. So 7 innings a week.
That's more than some of the starters pitch in a week.
He's pitched 33 innings.
I understand that. I think he's going to get it right, but I like how Hyde is handling the bullpen. I like how he's handling the rotation. He's making smart moves. He's giving guys a chance to right some of their mistakes, and he's not yanking them early.
His last 7 games, Cano. His last 7 games, his ERA is 3.68.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I know that's not what you want for an 8th inning guy or a 7th inning guy. I mean, you gotta give him the opportunity to work.
I'm
through
just
his
concerned.
Shit.
I'm concerned, and we can't move on either without talking about Ryan Mountcastle.
That's where I'm concerned, and I love Ryan Mountcastle. I have a soft spot for Ryan Mountcastle. I thought that he's going to be the first baseman of the future / long-term DH.
Yeah, but he's not. He's
it
not.
Doesn't seem like that because right now
he's
Heston
batting 227. Man, he's batting 227 right now. That's bad for your first baseman guy. He should be a guy that's he should be the 3rd or 5th hitter in the lineup. Honestly, he's the first. He should be the 4th hitter. He should be the power guy. It's frustrating with him because he'll go in these damn streaks where you're like, damn, this kid can fucking hit, man, where he's just smoking it. But then I know baseball is up and down. Baseball is an extremely hard sport. It's a game where where the greatest that's ever done it, you're gonna fail more than you succeed. But his downs are too long. That's my concern. If it was a series or two, it is what it is. It happens. Adley was going through a little slump.
Yeah.
But he'll go like a month and a half of this. And then you may get another month of him and no. We need to get our swag back. The Orioles, I feel like, let's sum it up like this. They lost their swag a little bit.
I think coming back home to play Kansas City, I think we're going to get back into the groove. It's a perfect team to come back home to. I think we're going to right the ship this weekend. We're going to start getting the swagger back.
All right.
There's one thing.
Check this hand in math. Check this Baltimore City public school math, buddy. If the Orioles, from the All-Star break, if the Orioles continue on this trajectory of the wins, After the All Star break, if they just played 500 ball, barely 500 ball, they'll be a 90 win team. They just
And
got to get decent to the All Star break.
I agree, and we're a month away from the All Star break. I'm gonna say one thing that's
Do we make moves at the All Star break? Do we
we'll talk
bring
about
in
we'll
a
talk about
big
that.
bat in the bottom of the lineup? Do we bring in a solid fucking ace?
I
Are you
I will
concerned about Grayson Rodriguez?
I will get to all that. We're starting
We
with the
are
O's.
famous. I know it's a different regime, but the Orioles are famous for not getting good pitchers to succeed here,
You
and then they leave and they're fucking Mike
Kevin Gauss,
Messina.
Kevin Gausman, Messina,
Yeah, he's got
Arrieta.
Gosman. Even though I hate his guts because he talks shit about the Orioles a few times, but he's got swag, man. When he's out there, his hair's all long and shit. Like he wasn't like I here's this little nerdy
I,
fuck.
before I lose my train of
Now he's
thought
all tatted up.
with Mountcastle, there's one thing that I think affected Mountcastle that not a lot of people talk about. The home run wall in left field has not. I'm not saying it's the only thing or the main thing. Pushing the wall back 20 feet, 25 feet, and then making the wall as high as it is. You got to think about it. He's a right-handed hitter. It's not a right-handed hitter friendly ballpark anymore, even in the humid months.
Man,
It
he's a
was on
high
this.
draft pick.
I know he's a high draft pick, and the thing is, he's not very good defensively. He can't
No,
scoop a ball,
he cannot.
and he's very inconsistent. But I think his power numbers are going to dip with that. And we talked about that a long time ago. I'm not putting that as the only thing is square on his shoulders.
When he's on, man, his
He's
swing is
on,
beautiful.
yeah,
It's
but
like
then
it's a
then his
swing you see a
mechanics,
legends.
but
Yeah,
then
and
it
then they
gets
fail.
janky, and he goes on
Yeah.
a cold
I
streak.
don't know if he gets cocky. I don't know if he, gets cocky, maybe stops watching film or I don't know what happens. Or maybe pitchers just see something and it takes them a while to adjust to it. And then he
I,
adjusts to it and then they figure out something else.
I wanted to bring up something about Ryan Mountcastle too. Jason Lockenford the other day on the radio. I hate this is a theme with me that I'm starting to agree with
I was
some of the things that
just
he says.
getting ready to point that out. This is like the third show in a row you
I know
agreed with that
I
little
hate it. I
cockroach.
hate it. I hate it. But
He's a cockroach.
He said that with Heston Kjerstad getting a lot of reps at first base, and now Heston's in AAA. Heston's probably going to be knocking on the door after the All Star break this year, if not in 2024. And first base is his main position, and he's not an outfielder anymore. You could theoretically flip Mountcastle for a pitcher. And if you go to somebody like the Cleveland Guardians, Shane Bieber, or somebody of that nature that's in their rotation that they want to get rid of, Mountcastle could be the centerpiece because they need hitting. They think that they can contend with their arms in the minors. The Guardians have the exact opposite problem we have. They have the arms in the minors, but they don't have the bats ready. We have the bats ready, but we don't have the arms ready.
Yeah,
So Shane Bieber could theoretically be a Baltimore Oriole in the next month or two, and Mountcastle could be part of that trade. And then you can
I'd be fine with that.
and then you can put Santander there for the rest of the year, who, by the way, is having a cold streak himself. Santander
Yeah,
hasn't been the
but
best.
his cold streaks don't last as long as
I
Mounties.
know. I'm expecting him to get out of his funk too.
He's struggling a little bit defensively too. He's
Yeah,
misjudged a few here and there.
yeah, he has. But to me,
He's a DH man.
he's a DH.
He
He's not an
should he
outfielder.
shouldn't be a yeah.
He's not a fielder.
Now
He's not
that catch
a
he made
fielder at all.
a few weeks back, that crazy over his head shit, that shit was nuts.
It was nuts, but I mean, he's built like an NFL fullback playing right field.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Well, that's
he's
why he's in right field, man. You put that
exactly,
guy out
yeah.
there.
We always
Remember the
literally,
red dude, whoever was
yeah,
in right field sucked.
they were fucking
They'd be
terrible.
out there picking flowers and shit. The ball never went out there.
Exactly, because everybody in the Hampton Small Fry hit right-handed, with the exception of a few guys that hit left. But um, I like how they're handling everything right now in terms of getting guys playing time, getting guys some at bats in the lineup. I love the Aaron Hicks pickup. I think that he is. he just needed a change of scenery, and it happens to be Baltimore. And it just so happens that Mullins pulls a groin muscle, and we claim him, put him on the 40, and he's been playing rather well. And when Cedric Mullins does come back, I believe Hicks should be the fourth outfielder instead of bringing Cowser up.
Mm.
Let Cowser get his everyday reps in AAA. I understand that he's major league ready. I understand that he's MLB ready. I get it. 100% I get it. I think he should be up with the club. But right now, unless he would move to right field temporarily, he's not going to get in the lineup. Now he could be your everyday right fielder if they do indeed trade Mountcastle for a pitching arm, but and Santander moves down to first base or DH or whatever they want to do there. But Cowser needs the reps every single day. Aaron Hicks doing what he's doing is fine. And then if you need him in a pinch, he can play all three outfield positions. He's a good defender. So I like the Aaron Hicks move. He's
Yeah, it's
a good
working.
it's working for us. It's
Yeah.
another one of those waiver wire pickups by Elias that looks good, and I'm okay
Elias
with
is
that.
very good at that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that he's
I'd love
great,
to pick his brain, man. Like, what goes into his decision making
and
process? How does he
I'm sure
evaluate guys? What is he? How much of the what is it? The words escaping me. The
the analytics to it.
analytics. Yeah, like how much
I'm
of
sure
that
it's
does
all
he use? I
plays
know
through,
he's a big analytics guy.
but
How much of that does he weigh? I just love to hear how he does it, man. That'd be awesome.
everybody's not meant for New York Yankee baseball. Everybody's not meant for it. So Hicks was underproducing by the standards of the Yankees enough to the point where he was DFA'd.
Well,
There's no pressure here because at the end of the day, he knows he's not going to be here long term. You have Cowser, McKenna, Stowers, Mullins, Hayes, and even to a certain point, Dylan Beavers that are all going to be in the mix for the outfield for years to come. Hopefully, we sign Mullins to an extension. That's going to be a very hefty extension because he's not going to take a $5 million a year deal, and that's as much as I thought about that
you
earlier.
got to keep Mullins,
You
man.
get oh
He
yeah, you
I
absolutely have to.
there was a point in time, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. There was a point in time where I wasn't sure about Mullins, and I was cool. Like I was one of the people saying like trade him, but he's solid, man. He
Yeah,
steals. His bat stays solid. His slumps are very short.
the way you
He always impacts the game, and then on defense, he's. I mean, he can. You almost don't need a damn left and right fielder when he's in there because and that's
he
why you
covers
can stick
he
Santander, and that may be why Santander's struggling right now with Mullins being hurt because Mullins gets everything, man.
right
Dude's a monster.
and the way you feel about Mullins is the way I feel
Sign
about
him, Eric. He could be a hell of a slot receiver.
the way you
Shit,
feel about Mullins is the way I feel about Hayes. I was very iffy on Austin Hayes, but not only is he
he's
fantastic
solid,
in the field,
solid.
he's still hitting the ball, and he is great running the bases. He's
The
great on
dude
the
has
base
a
path.
fucking cannon.
He has a rocket launcher in left field, and
Yes, he does.
he made the adjustment
Accurate
with the
too.
wall, and he I wouldn't be surprised if he was like a quarterback or something in high school because
Yeah, he's got a rocket.
he launches the ball every single time, and
Yes.
he's a very good outfielder. And as much as I was
His
banging
thing
on the
is,
table,
man, my only concern with him always was can he stay healthy? That I
yeah,
always knew he could play, but dude started scaring me, man.
but
This fucker
he's
got
been
hurt every
healthy all
time he
year.
blinked. I knock on wood, shit.
Yeah, he's been knock on wood this year. He's been fine,
I know, and that was my knock on him. That was my concern.
and
I no longer have that concern right now. Knock on wood.
I I believe that you gotta figure out a way to keep him. You gotta figure out a way to keep Mullins. Cowser's gonna have to go to right field when he comes up and when the time is right. I believe Cowser, unless Mullins does not get re-signed long term, Cowser might be our right fielder of the future. He might be another Markakis.
All I know is they better fucking keep Adley because if they let Adley go, man, this town is going to erupt.
I don't think that he's going to get out of here.
Just sign his ass now. Give him 10 years,
I,
fucking whatever he wants. Just do it. He's worth it.
I if
His
I had
team
to
has risen to another level since you elevated him from the minors.
if
He
I had to put
raised the
money
entire team.
if I had to put money on one person leaving, it's Gunner and it's solely because of his agent. It's not because he doesn't want to be here. I'm not speculating any rumors or anything, but Boris historically does not let his clients buy out their arbitration years and sign long-term deals. He likes his clients to get to the market for free agency. So that's the only thing, is that somebody will throw a boatload of money at Gunnar Henderson because when he hits free agency time, I think he's going to be like 27, which
Yeah.
is your prime. That's
Yeah.
another that's another 6 years away. I don't even want to think about that. But theoretically, you could offer Adley a 10-year deal north of 250 million, and I think it would get it done.
Yeah,
Because
he signed that shit.
I think halfway through that deal he'd be underpaid anyway.
Yeah, probably. What's Adley making right now? Like $1 million a year?
Oh,
2 million a year?
it's a couple million. He was the number one overall pick. Of course he's making a couple now. I mean, I
Yeah.
think he got 8 million at signing when he got drafted here. It was like something like 6 or 8 million or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 8. Yeah.
But even that kid Dylan Beavers that we drafted, I think last year in the Adley draft, or a couple years ago in the Adley draft, or last year, it might have been last year. I think Beavers was last year. He's starting to hit in high A. And they're talking about him moving up soon.
Yeah.
So we
I saw
got
that.
we got a lot of guys that. Oh, we're not even talking about Jordan Westberg right now. Westberg,
Or Jackson Holiday.
Holiday is still on a tear. I he's going to be in Bowie any day
I
now.
wish I was Jackson Holiday, man.
You
Dude's
wish you were.
young.
Yeah,
His
of
dad's a
course.
MLB player. He's a kid, man. Can you imagine? Just think about it for 1 second. He just got out of high school, dude, and he's
Yeah,
a multi-millionaire in his bank account. He's got millions in the bank.
and he can't even buy a beer yet. I know it's crazy. It's a crazy
I mean, he
concept.
probably gives two fucks. He grew up wealthy. He probably could care less, but still, like that is just like,
And speaking of the Holiday family, his little brother's apparently supposed to be better than he is,
oh
and he's in
shit,
high school. I think he's in high school in Oklahoma right now.
oh shit.
Yeah, and but Jackson's probably going to be here if he doesn't break camp with the Orioles in 24. He'll be here by this time next year.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah,
He's
he's gonna
coming.
fly
Yeah,
through. I think he's gonna end this season in Bowie.
yeah,
You might see
and
him start next year, maybe in
and,
Bowie or Norfolk.
and you see the Orioles are building something because the top 100 prospects just got released yesterday.
Best farm
And,
system in baseball by
and
far.
we have 8 players in the top 100 for prospects. Eight in the top.
The only team's farm system that you could say compare and even fight with the Orioles is Tampa. Anybody else, we fucking just trounce.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Tampa
entirely
is the one
possible.
that's probably close. Tampa's got always.
I'm
And I like Tampa's method. Have they got a ring out of it? No, but they've been to 2 World Series. They've come really close, and they're always good as shit.
yeah. I mean, they're always good. They're
Nobody goes to the fucking games, though.
well. That's because it's in a terrible part of
I
Florida, and
know.
it's the shittiest stadium in baseball. I mean,
Well,
the rafters leak onto the fans, amongst other many terrible
well,
problems.
why the fuck would they build a new stadium if nobody comes anyway?
I'm surprised they haven't moved yet. And apparently, the Oakland A's move to Las Vegas is on hold because the budget proposal for their $1.5 billion stadium didn't make it through their Senate or their
Oh shit.
oversight committee. So Oakland's in limbo again. They got to get out of there because they're drawing less than some minor league teams.
Yeah,
And
nobody's going. It's sad, man. Oakland's just falling apart.
yeah,
And then right across the water, a hop, jump, skipping away is San Francisco, and they're booming.
the Giants are good. The 49ers are good. Those
Yeah.
Golden State
So,
Warriors are, they were a dynasty for a few short years. So
and
yeah,
I don't understand it because, like, Oakland, I mean, they support the Warriors. I mean, like, there's other things they do support that area supports.
yeah. But I'm happy with how things are going. a lot of Orioles fans that I listen to call into the radio stations and I see the on the message boards. They're all like wanting to go all in and get all these guys. And I know we're not gonna. Elias isn't going to deplete our farm system. He's not going to do it.
No,
Jason Lockenford needs to drop. The one thing I will say this: he needs to drop the Shohei Ohtani trade.
you are
He
not going to say two good things about him in one fucking podcast.
no. He's got to he's got to fucking drop that. He keeps on every time Oriole trade prospects come up, he mentions Ohtani.
Okay,
Ohtani is a rental. He's not going to sign a long term deal. I don't care how good the Baltimore Orioles are. Baltimore is not his market. He's going to go to Los Angeles. He's going to go to New York. He's going to go to one of those 4 or 5 teams that are in New York or California. It's completely absurd to think that the Orioles would part with anybody that they would want, even for a 3-month rental. Would it put us over the top? Absolutely, because you're getting an ace, and
because
you're.
what prospect would you trade right now? I don't want to trade
I'm,
any of them.
I'm not trading Jackson.
Fuck no,
I'm
he's
not trading.
untouchable.
I'm not trading Gunner. I'm not trading Adley.
Fuck no. Why don't you say
I'm
that?
not. And the thing is, at that point, they would probably want Kowser, Westberg, Mountcastle, Grayson, and somebody
Mount
else.
Cosmo. I mean, Grayson,
But
I'm not that impressed with him, to be honest with you. I hope
I
I'm wrong,
I
but I'm
think
just
I
not.
think his problems are between the ears anyway. I don't think it's his mechanics. I don't think it's his. I think he gets in between. It gets something gets in between his ears, and he is you can't tame him in the first inning. If he can get the first inning jitters out of the way, he's going to be a solid starter. But we got to think about it. This is his first year in his career as a major leaguer. So yeah, I think we're expecting him to be a lot better because of how much time he spent in the minors. But it's a lot different pitching to bumfuck AAA guys that are either trying to barely hold on to the dream or aren't
Matt,
quite ready for the dream yet. And then pitching to the fucking Yankees and the Red Sox and the
Matt,
Braves, it's different.
I understand that, dude. But he was getting fucking slaughtered.
He was, but the thing is, I'm not.
It
I'm
ain't
happy
like
that,
the bats weren't swinging for him. Oh, he should have 5
but
wins, but we don't hit what he
but
hit.
here's the thing:
No, he was
how does he
getting
have a shorter
nailed.
leash? How did he have a shorter leash than Dean Kramer? I understand Dean Kramer is 6-3 right now.
Well, because you got to watch his confidence. I mean, you don't want his confidence to get completely destroyed. I mean,
I
his
get it.
confidence has to be
I get it.
down. He was getting roped. I mean, the guys were hitting
Teeing
like he
off
was
on him, yeah.
back in practice. Yeah, I mean, it was
I know they were
bad.
teeing off on him. Maybe he just needs to fix some shit and get his mind right in AAA. And when the All Star break hits and they've reevaluated it again, John Means will be back by the All Star break or a little bit after. I don't think he's going to be back this month. We're
No,
forgetting about Means.
I know.
You know, Zimmerman can start if he's got to. Bradish is still hanging around tough. Kyle Gibson's an absolute bulldog. I love Kyle Gibson. I think that was
Yeah, I
the
do too.
he's an upgrade over Jordan Lyles 100%. And I like Jordan Lyles. He's
Yeah,
having he had a good year last year, but Kyle Gibson, he's that veteran that just gets after it, and you can't ask for much more out of the guy. He's giving you innings, he's giving you solid work, and it's not there's nothing to be desired right there with that portion of the rotation. Now, do you want to add a number one arm? Yeah, I think you can do away with you know rotating that fourth or that fifth starter by adding somebody like a Shane Bieber or going and getting Corbin Burns, even though he just beat the piss out of us yesterday. Dude's a fucking animal. Um,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind going after him. I'm waiting for the Brewers to fall off so we can go poach them. I'm cool with it right now. I love the fact the Orioles are where they are. I'm pleased because it seems like we're a lot farther along in the rebuild than where I thought we were going to be. I thought this
With
was going to
like a zero payroll.
right. So what they did last year, I was thinking they were going to do this year. I thought that they were going to surprise people and hang around until the end.
Yeah.
now having a top
I
five
didn't
record in
expect this. Yeah, I didn't
having
think
a
it'd be
top
one of the
five record
best
in
teams in ball.
baseball, having a top five record in baseball, and then having a number one or number two farm system, depending who you ask. It's an embarrassment of riches right now, and we're looking good. Now we're gonna have to get rid of some of these guys that we've grown fond of if we want to get some guys in here to compete long term and in the short term. We got to
Yeah.
find an arm. I hope we do. I hope we can go grab grab a good solid pitcher and maybe find a bat. I think we need to find another right-handed power hitter, a consistent one. That's just where I'm at.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have nothing to complain about when it comes to. I have nothing to complain about when it comes to the Orioles. But switching gears, the Baltimore Ravens they're in the third week, I believe, of voluntary OTAs. A lot of people have been clamoring for DeAndre Hopkins for Nuke, and I am not on the DeAndre Hopkins train for one reason. Number one, I don't think it's feasible for the Ravens to make it work monetarily. They're not going to ask Hopkins to take a lot less money than what Odell Beckham Jr. got, and arguably Hopkins has been on the field more in the last year and a half than Odell has. I don't. I just think it takes away from the snaps that you could give to Zay Flowers. I think it takes away the opportunity of seeing what you got with Duvernay in this new offense. And I'm not saying they're nearly as good as him, but I think we need to go get a pass rusher or a defensive end.
Are you excited about Dr. Russ?
I am. Oh, I love the fact that if he's telling the media that Odafe Owe's got a pass rusher move, please fucking showcase it because I would love to see it. Other than him just trying to outrun offensive tackles, I would love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
If
too.
he can mold Ojabo, I of course we consistently talk about adding a pass rusher on the show, you know, or we could go in the direction of grabbing somebody like Jadeveon Clowney, who's not necessarily much of a pass rusher, but Clowney could
But I
fill in
think he
for.
wants too much money.
It's possible, but I think Clowney at this stage in Clowney's career, knowing that he's not a sack artist, could be our Calais Campbell for just this year. He could be an inside three
I wouldn't
five
be opposed
technique
to
guy,
that.
a
Yeah.
3 or 5 technique guy that can provide run stopping inside and set the edge if you kick him outside. I I wouldn't be opposed to something like that, or going and getting Leonard Floyd. I don't know how much money he's going to want, but if the Ravens can do anything to make a trade for one of the pass rushers, the two that are available right now are allegedly available are Chase Young from the Washington Commanders and Danielle Hunter from the Minnesota Vikings.
They got
Comparing
yeah,
the
they
t-
they, they gotta find a pass rusher.
yeah, comparing those two statistically is unfair. 100% unfair. I do believe that uh, Chase Young is the cheaper, younger option, but he's also has bad knees and he's very inconsistent. And what Chase Young are you getting? Are you getting the Chase Young that's going to be discontent that he's traded in his contract year, or are you going to get a Chase Young motivated to get paid on the open market because they shut down his 5th-year option? On the contrary, Daniel Hunter, he's got 7 years in the league. He missed a year with an injury, but he's averaging 12 sacks a season. You throw that into our line into the defensive lineup, and you take the pressure off of Odafe Owe to not have to be a double-digit sack guy right off the break. Sign me up, please sign me up because that is absolutely positively fantastic. I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with that. Now the question that's going to be surrounding is what do they want as compensation? This is the opportunity where you trade Patrick Queen. If he doesn't want to be here and he wants to get paid somewhere else, flip him for one of these pass rushers that are on the market flip one of the wide receivers that you're not going to use. We can't sign Demarcus Robinson anymore. He signed with the Los Angeles Rams this morning. So you got, a whole bunch of guys that you can take looks at. If it means trading Duvernay and Patrick Queen in that move, you got to do what you got to do, flat out. Because
Duvernay. Ooh, that hurts a little bit.
it hurts, but he's also now on the current depth chart. It's going to be Bateman, OBJ, Flowers of some sort. Toss in the pass catching options. You add in Likely, you add in JK, you add in Gus, you add in Mark Andrews. Duvernay might be the sixth or seventh pass catching option, and he's making $4.5 million. And in all honesty, Justice Hill is a better return man than him. Justice Hill proved that.
Ooh,
Justice Hill proved that at the middle and end of last year.
okay.
Justice Hill is not only a good punt returner and a good kick returner, he also plays punt coverage and kick coverage, and he's making $1 million less, $2 million less. So you're getting your value.
Mm.
Are you going to carry Duvernay to be a gadget dude when you've got Zay Flowers, OBJ, and Bateman in front of him?
Yeah, because I want depth at that position. I don't want any excuses this year.
I
I don't want any excuses for Lamar Jackson.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
I want depth.
I'm not telling you that you're wrong. We know Prochet's gone. You know that they are keeping all their rookies and the young guys. They got Andy Isabella hanging around, the little speed demon that they signed from Arizona. They
Yeah.
got Bridges coming back. They're gonna probably bring in. So they got the undrafted running
What
back
about
kid.
Victor?
Benjamin Victor's probably gonna be back on the practice squad or hanging around for a roster spot. They got guys that they can throw into the role of Duvernay. They got another Duvernay as an undrafted free agent, Keaton Mitchell. He's the same dude skill set wise, except he's a running back instead of a wide receiver. But he can catch the ball too. So if you're going to keep Mitchell as a fourth running back slash receiver slash return guy slash special teams guy, where does Duvernay's role fit in here? It was kind of like the conversation we had last week, Josh, where does Patrick Ricard fall into all this?
Yeah, that's one of my concerns.
We paid Patrick Ricard a lot of money, and in this offense, he's not going to be needed nearly as much as he is in the RPO
I think though,
run
man,
heavy.
it's still as much as I think the offense is going to be different. I gotta believe that Ricard's going to be used.
I think he's going to be used. I just think instead of him being on the field for 70% of the snaps, he might be on the field for 30 or 35% of the snaps.
All right.
He's not a pass catching option. It's blatantly obvious if you have a passing down and he's in the game in the backfield, he's in there for pass pro. So you're not going to do that.
Hmm.
So if anything, like we said before, Ricard becomes the new Boyle.
Yeah,
Inline blocking tight end, giving Morgan Moses or Ronnie Stanley some extra help and getting to the
I can
second
see that
level.
happening. I can see that happening.
It's and the thing is, if you carry all these wide receivers, then you're going to have to inactivate a lot of them because you can only dress 46 every game, which is stupid to me. If you have a 53-man roster and you can't dress all of them for the game, it's dumb. To me,
It
that's
doesn't make
dumb.
sense.
It
You
doesn't
want to
make.
know my biggest concern, dude, right now, besides pass rush, is J.K. Dobbins. Like, come on, man. Like, what's going on with him? Like, he's
I
happy, and then he's like, I love Baltimore. I want to be a Raven forever. And then he's not happy. Like, it's kind of getting kind
I
of exhausting with him.
it's
Like, come on, bro.
exhausting. I
And
I
you are very good, but you have not done things yet where you can start being a smart aleck.
Here's the
This
thing.
league will shun you, bro.
Look at since JK's been here and even to the degree the year before.
Okay.
There's been one running back that's been a constant on this team, and that's Gus Edwards.
Okay.
Gus was here for the 2019 all record setting run brigade with him and Mark Ingram and JK, or not JK, him, Mark Ingram, and Justice Hill, I believe.
Yeah, so.
So we got rid of Mark Ingram without much fanfare. We drafted JK. JK goes down. We moved on and still produced. JK knows that he wants to be a part of this, but honestly, if you find somebody with a similar skill set that you don't have to pay millions and pound millions of dollars to, you
Yeah,
know
I
he's
don't
gonna
see him extending. I don't see him getting
he's
expensive.
expendable. And
Yeah,
I like J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins
because you can get another one.
you
And I
can
hate
go
to say
for
it like that.
because they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Or hypothetically speaking, if J.K. doesn't work, you can go trade for one of these big name running backs or wait for one of them to hit the market. Okay, let's say Ezekiel Elliott hits the market again next year and J.K. Dobbins is in a Raven. You can plug in Ezekiel Elliott behind this offensive line and he'd run for 1,000. Or, you know, it could be any.
Ezekiel?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we can
Yeah,
literally
don't
pull
talk
any
crazy.
we can pull any running back off the street that has a
Yeah.
jump cut and some speed, and they can produce behind this offensive line.
Man,
And the thing is,
he hasn't
Lamar,
earned the right to be a prick, though, is my point. Like, bro,
he's
yes,
young.
you've done some
He's
great
young.
things.
I
I
wouldn't
get
even
that.
call him a prick. I wouldn't even call him a prick. He's young. That's it. He's emotional. He wants to be a part of something, and
Okay, why ain't he there?
but he's playing
Did
for his
anyone
next
tell him not
contract.
to come? I mean, did anyone tell the guy not to come?
No,
Why
they
isn't he there?
that's on him at the end of the day. That's
I
it,
loved how yesterday there was like no one there, but they said the two highest paid players on each side of the ball were the only stars there. Roquan and Lamar were the only notable names. Just
see at
because
this point,
next week is mandatory, so nobody gives a fuck now. They ain't coming back till next week.
right? So now I'm curious. I want to see Odell. I want to see how Odell looks with this offense. I
Yeah, I
know that
want to see him in his uniform.
I want to see him in the uniform. I want to see him catching passes from Lamar. That's what I want. That's where it begins and ends.
I
Just
used to
give me.
hate his guts, dude. Now I'd be cheering for him.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to not be able to stand his ass.
I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah, I'm
I'm
happy with it. I think
I'm
we gave him a little too much money, but I think that's what it took to get him to come here. Because I think he
that
would
and
say,
I
"Fine,
think
I'll just
that
go to the Jets."
but I think this also is one of the he was one of the keys to the Lamar puzzle.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Because
So
once he signed, Lamar was jumped on. Because I think that's what it took. I think Lamar wanted to stay here all along. I do believe that, but I also believe he was seeing how we were going to put this team together. I believe he was closely watching what the who the coordinator was going to be. I believe he was
he was
watching
watching everything.
personnel.
He was
Yeah, he
watching
wanted to see what we were doing. And then once they got Odell, he's like, "Oh shit, they're going." And then once he saw like they paid Odell a lot, the Ravens don't really pay receivers a lot of money. Um, and once he saw that, he signed pretty quick. And let's not forget, it's not like the Ravens did some crazy thing different. The Ravens just changed some verbiage around. The deal has been the deal. The Ravens haven't budged. Lamar's the one who budged. He's the one who gave in. He just
exactly.
wanted some words changed. So I makes you wonder. Like he's like, all right, they're trying. They're putting it together. I want to be a part of it.
Now the young man is in camp. He's here every day. He's
He's the
showing up to
guy.
work. He's
I
learning
want
the
him to be
offense.
successful, dude. I
So
was
do
really
I.
mad and hurt by him for a long time.
I know
Yeah.
we were both upset with him. We were both
But now I'm back
over
on the wagon with him. I love him.
we were over it. Here's the thing. I'm back on the
Oh,
wagon,
he
but
was gone in my mind, dude. Like
oh
I
yeah,
turned his
both of
bobbleheads
us.
around and
You know,
and
you know, it,
like took his jersey off the hanger.
that's the thing.
I wanted him out of
Back
our
in
startup
February and
video.
March, we were talking about what quarterback we were going to draft in the first round, if
Yeah.
any, or who we were going to sign.
We're talking
Now it's
about trading for what's his name from the Falcons, Rockets,
Desmond
Riddler,
Ritter.
Riddler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm all aboard. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to see this thing together. Because this is a very expensive what if.
yeah.
Because if things don't change and he still goes out there and does what he was doing last year, it's not the offense.
Oh yeah, there's like I said, we talked about this. There's
It's a $260 million gamble.
there's no more excuses. He now has the money,
This
and
right
then the
here.
highest paid player in history. He now has that.
This right here is
He's
the
got the
define.
new coordinator. You can't blame Giro.
This
He's
is the
got
defining
weapons.
Eric DaCosta moment right here.
Yeah,
If this thing works, Eric is going to be the next Ozzy in terms of longevity,
he's a
and
genius.
yeah, arguably he is. But
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
saying if it
DaCosta.
goes well, that's how
If
he's
it
going to
goes well,
be
oh yeah,
perceived.
if it goes well, he's an absolute bona fide genius, 100%. This defines his career. If this blows up, DaCosta's gone when Lamar's gone,
Yeah,
if not sooner. And I know the Ravens don't do business like that with personnel, but this is a
I
career. It's a career defining moment because
yeah I
arguably,
agree with that somewhat, but yeah, I think DaCosta has a pretty long
think
leash.
about Ozzy. The three most defining draft classes of his Hall of Fame general manager career was 96, 2000 with Jamal, and
Okay,
2008 when he brought in Joe and Ray Rice.
what about
He
Heat?
that was a good draft too. But I'm talking about defining moments that changed the course of the franchise. Ray Lewis, undoubtedly the best middle linebacker that will ever step on a football field. Jo,
Without a
argue
doubt. Please say without a doubt.
Jo, without a doubt, is a top three left tackle. Depending on who you talk
What?
to, we think he's number
Number
one.
one.
But
He's number one.
a lot of people are going to make the argument about Munoz and all that shit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. No,
And
he's
then
number one.
2000, you draft Jamal, you win your Super Bowl. Jamal goes on and sets the single game rushing record. He has a fantastic career here for about a solid 5 or 6 year span.
Greatest
And
defense
2000,
this planet has ever seen.
both of those years, both
Score
of those
14
years,
points. It's a blowout.
and then the 2008 draft netted us a Super Bowl 5 years later.
They did. Did.
So arguably, those three
And
draft
got close
classes.
to a Super Bowl a few times. In between. Could have went to multiple.
So arguably those. Now the thing is, Eric has been hit or miss on his draft classes. He's had two very good drafts, and he's had two not so good drafts. It
He
seems
hasn't
like
been able to find that solid defensive lineman. He's obviously good at drafting corners and safeties and
he is.
linemen he's shown, but he hasn't, and he seems to be a better drafter of wideouts than Ozzy was. I'll give him
Yeah,
that because I really believe Zay Flowers is going to be a guy, and I believe I don't believe Marquise Brown was a bust. I think he
he
did what we
wasn't.
thought he would do. And a lot of people forget he was a 1,000-yard receiver before he left.
Yeah,
Um,
it was his last year. I think he got
yeah.
like 1,007 yards.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't look too hot because he's with a sucky quarterback. He could be here in part of this. Can you imagine if he was here too?
But the thing is, if he's here, I don't see them drafting Zay Jones. I mean
Uh,
Zay Flowers.
I say, who the
I don't.
fuck is Zay Jones?
Yeah,
False
he's
fake
he's a
news.
he's a wide receiver on the Raiders. My apologies, but here's the thing.
Did you say Ross?
No, no, I didn't say
Oh, I was
Ross.
about to say. Okay.
I said on the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
He's it's it's just crazy that he wanted out, and then we go and transform the offense to what he wants, and he's not here for it. Fuck
Well,
him.
well,
He's not here. He was good while he was here. He wanted out. We got Tyler Linderbaum, so I'm cool with that. Linderbaum might
yeah,
be here for a decade, so I'm cool.
yeah,
He asked for what he wanted and he got it.
yeah.
So yeah, buddy, we've been on for about an hour. That I'd say that wrapped the show for the week.
Yeah, our
We got
people listening
some
probably fall asleep by now.
not necessarily.
You guys
We
awake? Comment yes if you're awake.
so that'll wrap the show. We have a couple really good guests coming up. Brandon
Really
Hepburn.
good guess.
We can't talk about the one yet.
We can't
I
talk
will.
about the one yet, but we're going to.
This will be probably the biggest guest that we have ever had in terms of popularity. The only hint that we will give you is that it is for the Baltimore Orioles baseball. That is it. It is a baseball.
Ooh.
It's a baseball guest. That's it. Um, NFL president, NFLPA vice president of the Baltimore chapter, Brandon Hepburn. He will be on next week. Um, Hopefully, we will be getting a couple more guys on to share the good news. Josh and I will be participating in a football camp next month. We will let you guys know in the coming weeks whose
I'm out
camp it
there with my
is.
headset on. Kids don't want to be in my group. Shit.
Yeah, they probably run away from you, but I
Dude,
digress.
drop down and give me 25, you little shit.
That'll do it for the show, folks. Before we go, I'm gonna keep this real nondescript. Say a prayer for
Nondescript. Oh,
Josh's
sorry.
family. Josh has got some family stuff going on. Just send a little prayer to him. Josh, we love you, buddy. Um, you know, go ahead and close it down now, brother.
All right, we're going to shut it down since Matt went down on sad note. I appreciate that, Matt. I'm just kidding. And let's shut it down. Rest in peace, Uncle Jim. I love you.